Good evenings, ladies and gentlemen. Take two here at the We the Locals podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Josie.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Abby.
And we got Stu over here pushing buttons over and over again.
Just some technical
difficulties. So wait. Before I continue the intro, are we live?
Let's see. It's still refreshing. It's not showing live yet.
Okay, so I'm not sure how we're going to upload this, but if you're watching post-production, then hopefully this will be your only introduction. I'm going to just do our intro one more time. Like I said, thank you so much for joining us on here, the We the Locals podcast. If you would like to support our work, you can like, share, and subscribe to this episode and to our channel. You can also toss us a few dollars through a Rumble rant or super chat, which we will definitely read. You can also email us if you would like to be a sponsor for the podcast, a business or a candidate. We have special sponsorships going on available. And if you drop us $50 or more, you get to pick the color of the lights, anything but red or yellow. Oh, we're live. Okay,
we're
awesome.
Live. Yes.
Anything but red or yellow. And then if you give us $100, we'll fall on our swords and do the red or the yellow.
McDonald's.
Not red and yellow, just red or yellow. So just a couple of housekeeping announcements as far as our dates for the next couple of months. You know, we're coming into summer. Our episode schedule for June is normal, the 6th and the 20th. We will be live. In July, our episodes will be on July 11th and July 25th. So July is going to be a little bit switched around with the Thursdays that we are going on, and the 25th will not be a live episode. We'll pre-record it because it's summer and people are traveling, and it is what it is. But we will drop it on the 25th. So mark your calendars for those dates so that you don't miss any of the exciting things that we have going on here at We the Locals, including, are we live?
We are live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live on Rumble. So anybody that has the YouTube stream up, I just dropped the Rumble link in the YouTube chat. So
But they can't see us because they're not watching.
But the chat's live. The chat goes live once you set up a stream.
Okay.
So people can start chatting like as soon as the stream's set up
on
and
YouTube?
waiting for
Oh.
Yeah, I think both sites you can chat even before the live stream goes live.
Chat us. We'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on live?
I don't see any viewers waiting over on YouTube, and we've got people watching us live on Rumble. So
Woo-hoo! Shout out to Rumble.
Yeah. So anyways, hopefully we'll get some people trickling over from YouTube tonight.
That works.
Right.
Listen, we'll give Rumble all that we can.
Yes.
Just give us your Rumble rants. All right. So what's everybody got?
I have a couple of updates for the county. Budget season started, so I can kind of go over that really quick.
Yeah, real quick, because numbers make me tired. I'm just
It's just starting. So just remember the 2024 budget for Palm Beach County was $7.8 billion. Of that, $1.8 billion was from property taxes, which is about 23.3% of the overall budget. People miss that part. So on the website, there's a whole section where it says budget fiscal year 2025. You can click that. It gives you a breakdown it has like cool little pie charts and dollar amounts for all of the departments.
Working fast and loose with the word cool there.
I know. So us number people think it's kind of cool.
We do.
I'm not the numbers person. I'm just here for the jokes.
For the lulz.
For the lull. I'm just going to keep talking.
And during some of the county meetings so far, some of the departments have been presenting their budget. So be sure to check previous episodes so that you can check out everything that's going on. The budget workshop for Palm Beach County is June 11th at 2 p.m. So definitely check for that. July 2nd at 9:30, board will be giving direction on the 2025 budget and proposed millage rate. On September 10th at 5:05 p.m. will be the first public hearing, and September 17th will be the second public hearing to solidify the budget for 2025.
So, if you are concerned about something in the budget, now is the time to be contacting your county commissioners and department and county commissioners, not at the public hearing in September, because by then it's pretty much done. And
Correct.
there's not a lot of wiggle room for change.
The best time would be to pay attention to that budget workshop
On the 11th.
on June 11th.
Okay.
So that would be the big thing. If you're really concerned and wanting to know the details and the ins and outs, that would be the one to watch or attend.
And those are all live streamed. You can
Yes.
watch them on channel 20 or you can watch them on YouTube. The county has a YouTube channel. If you subscribe to it, it'll also give you notifications about when the county is going live. All of the meetings that the commissioners have are all live because of sunshine laws.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you want to give comment, you have to
yes.
be there in person.
If you want to give comment, you have to be there in person or slash, I believe you. I mean, it's always good to write your commissioners as well and give them your opinion ahead of time. But if you want to make public comment to all of them in one spot, yeah, definitely you have to be there. Submit a comment card. Make sure that you are.
Yeah.
We're all
And-
treat each other
and
kindly
this
and
is the
respectfully and make your opinion known.
Right. And this is the county aspects of the budget, but all of your municipalities
Yep.
are going to be doing,
For example,
for example,
the City of Lighthouse Point's budget workshop is June 25th at 4 p.m., preceding the regular commission meeting that evening.
Ooh,
So
I
it's going
should
to be
look up
it's going to be a long afternoon into the evening.
Mhm.
The first reading of the levy, which doesn't, I mean, it's just the required reading, is July 9th at 6:30 p.m. at the regular commission meeting. And then I think September 12th and 18th, maybe September 4th and 18th, are the public hearings for the millage rates. So all at the regular, one of them is not a regular commission meeting. It's on a different date because they can't conflict with the school board or the county. The cities have to move their
Yeah.
meetings in order to make.
I don't think Bocas has published theirs yet.
No,
I don't see it.
we had to vote on the dates as a commission. I think it was during one of the 2 April meetings. We voted to set the dates. But that budget workshop on June 25th is when the commission is going to the finance director of the city is going to present the budget. All the department heads will be there speaking to their portions of the budget, answering questions from us on the commission. And then the commission gives guidance to the administration on hopefully, we can find some places where we can, cut some expenses, trim things down a bit.
Trim the budget.
And I have to give a shout out to one of my fellow Lighthouse Point PCs. We had a town hall meeting last Monday night. Unfortunately, I was out of state last week and I missed the town hall meeting. I did manage to attend the city commission meeting via Zoom.
Nice.
And but one of my fellow PCs in Lighthouse Point did attend the town hall. I think several of them did, but she followed it up the next morning with an email just to confirm, the dates, and it sounds like she's going to be there at all of the workshops and the meetings, which is good because last year a lot of people kind of joined in during the public hearing portion in September, and by that point it was too late.
It's too late. Listen, it's just the way you say, do your family budgets. You figure things out, and then when you're like, all right, this is our budget, this is what we're doing, it's kind of late for your kid to come in and be like, by the way,
I have a field trip.
I have a field trip, or by the way, can I do ballet or something like that? You're like, wait, no, we already did this. So like, now's the time. How are we doing it? What are we doing with the money, the millage
now's
rates,
the time to pay attention.
all the
for
things.
sure. And they did pass on April 9th the Board of County Commission for the school board to do a referendum on the November 5th ballot for a half-cent surtax for upgrading security, technology, facilities, and infrastructure.
Wait a second. So it's
the
going
county
on the
surtax
ballot.
ran out.
Yeah,
Yep.
the penny tax.
And so now the school board's coming back
For their half-cent.
because they had half of that went to the school board. The old
Correct.
1%, half went to the county.
I
half went to
wonder
the
what
school board.
percentage of the school board budget that was made up of that. Because the school board budget is like 5.5 bill.
Yeah,
It should be. I mean, like if you look back
and
at prior year
apparently they
budgets.
need more money because they have all of these administrative costs and programs and everything that they pay for with your tax dollars. So,
But they still don't pay the teachers a living wage.
right. So, school board budget is probably going on now as well. So maybe we could hear from a few of our school board candidates here.
Yeah, if we have any school board candidates listening or school board members, I don't know.
Well,
We'd love to hear you weigh in on that.
The budget discussions in Broward have been delayed because there's just Broward always has to have some drama.
Did Broward? Okay, I have a question. Broward passed. Didn't we talk about at one point that Broward passed comprehensive? I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. I can. Sex ed, right? Sex ed.
I don't know what they passed, but obviously, if the state has passed legislation that
Because I've heard
conflict.
through the grapevine about some homework that came home from a 7th grader that was incredibly inappropriate
Yeah, well, that wouldn't surprise
from
me.
a public school in
I
Broward
don't know
County.
if it was something that was approved or it was just something that that particular class.
School or the
Yeah.
administration decided to put in. I was
I
just
don't know.
curious because I feel like they passed something that we were all like, ooh, but there's a lot of things that Broward School Board does that we're all like, well, I
they're,
can't keep
like-
track of them all.
I know
I heard something that they passed too. Sorry, Abby, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh.
I just want to make sure I put this.
No,
point in
there's
I
that
heard
No
yesterday.
Place for Hate program that I think it's the ADL does. Have you heard of that No Place for Hate
No, I don't
program?
really pay attention to the ADL. They're a super leftist organization.
Well, yeah.
they do not
they are.
represent me, for the record. Just putting that out there. Anything the ADL does or says, for the most part, I don't support. But anyway, go ahead.
The school board or the district administration just swore up and down that this program was not in the schools because I think it is. There's parts of it that under state statute are no longer allowed to be.
Probably.
Yeah.
'Cause they're an uber leftist organization.
But there were worksheets that screenshots were posted of from actually the elementary school, one of the elementary school out in Parkland near my parents' house, and it had their logo at the top. So it's like, okay. Anyways, that's all I had to say.
So Florida Voice put out an article yesterday about Broward County Public Schools are no longer going to evacuate if a bomb threat is called in.
I was just listening to something about this.
Yeah, so threats will first be assessed by the designated school decision maker, which is more than likely going to be the principal. And then threats will then be assessed and discussed with Broward County Public School Chief and the local law enforcement.
You know why? Because kids call.
Yeah,
and
I mean
the
that happened
bomb-
back when I was in school.
Right, but now there's no consequences for the
Yeah.
kid that they find out that does
Correct.
it. So
now instead they're just not going to evacuate children.
3,000 children from a school.
And it's like, okay, so the designated, person.
I wonder if they have to take out a special insurance policy because if they were to that person makes the wrong call and God forbid a catastrophe happens and they made the decision not to do something, where's the liability? Because their butts are going to get
the
sued
first thing
up the
I
wazoo.
thought is like they didn't think about the end though. And
Nope.
then what?
And then what questions? Nobody ever thinks about the end. Then what questions? Goodness gracious! I feel like I should put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Politicians, here's a question for you. And then what?
That's from Dude, Where's My Car? And then when they're ordering at the drive-thru,
Gosh,
it was like a Chinese restaurant, and he's like, can I get so and so?
they have a drive-through for a Chinese restaurant.
In the movie they did. I mean, this was not the most academic of movies.
I
Yeah.
remember,
But the
vaguely.
person taking the order just kept saying, and then? There's no and then. That's it. And then?
So we need to put it on a shirt. And then
Right.
what? Then
So
what?
parents in Broward County schools, I thought that was something that.
And
would
every
be-
day people ask me all the time, you live in Addison Meisner. Why don't you send your kids to Addison Meisner? I know it's not Broward County, but still.
I tell you what, I am shocked that the state especially has allowed.
Broward County to
To
get away with
continue-
so much crap.
I mean,
Broward's
so
gonna Broward.
Didn't they learn
Tuesday-
their lesson from when they got yeeted? Nope.
No.
So Tuesday, they had literally an all-day school board meeting, and the main things that they discussed was the termination agreement with the outgoing superintendent that tried to resign, and then they terminated him, and then
So much drama.
they had to
Sorry,
complicate
I'm
it,
really
and
hot.
then negotiating the incoming superintendent's, financial package.
Which is going to be lovely, I'm
I
sure.
think they finally called the meeting at like 9 p.m.
That's all they discussed?
They may have gotten to a couple other items. I don't know.
Good grief.
I was, I was on a plane for half of that day, and then I was trying to catch up from being on vacation the other half, and then I fell asleep at like 7 p.m. because I was jet lagged. So.
Oh my gosh. Abby, how was your trip? Tell
was
us a little bit
amazing.
about it. Where'd you go?
So we qualified for this trip at work, and it was courtesy of Goodyear. I was an Alaskan cruise, so it was very nice.
Fancy.
Yeah. So I took one of my sisters with me, and we flew out to Vancouver. We embarked from Vancouver, went up the Inside Passage, actually went out onto the open seas and then disembarked in Seward, Alaska.
I have so many sea shanty songs now flitting through my
Sea
mind.
shanty songs?
Like pirate songs. We really like pirate songs in our house. I'm mildly obsessed with pirates.
Well, this was definitely not a pirate ship.
No, I know, but when you set out to open sea, I'm like, arr.
Yeah, it was a little rough out on the open sea. I don't normally get seasick, but it was a little queasy on
rough.
Sunday. But it was beautiful.
Yeah, you know why pirates are so cranky? No, I'm just kidding.
It was beautiful, and we lucked out. We had sun every single day except for that last day.
That's awesome.
And it's so pristine out there. Like, especially when it's sunny out. It's like blue skies, so much green, bald eagles, and freedom everywhere.
There's a reason people live in Alaska.
Somebody referred to bald eagles as the pigeons of Alaska because there's so many out there.
And when we see one in the zoo here, we're like, whoa! Guys, look at that. It's so cool.
So, no, it was nice. And I really did try my best to completely unplug while I was out there and
Good
just
for you.
enjoy
Good
it.
for you,
So
yeah.
it had been a while since I had really disengaged for a vacation like that. So it felt really good.
Good. Good.
Nice.
Well, congrats.
Nice.
So now I'm back. I'm refreshed, rejuvenated.
Ready for campaign season.
Yeah, until I go on vacation again in July.
Say la vie. All right. Anything else, Jess?
Just two more things they did on the county commission. They did do rules of procedures change, basically making it limited to board business only. So if you
This is on the matters before the public?
Yep.
Ah.
But they will still allow SOE discussions at this point. So
Well.
supervisor of elections, because they do oversee that budget. But anything beyond that, you may be cut off, or you may be told that that doesn't fall under the county purview.
And let's discuss why they had to make these rules. Because I have learned something being in my few years here involved in the back end of government is most of the time and I had to explain this to my kids the other day because they were told, one of them was told this whole year she couldn't sit like straddling a bench. She had to sit with her feet forward. And I was like, probably because at one point someone did something dumb and now, which you would never do because you don't do dumb things, but now that has to be a rule. And so generally a lot of times laws, rules, things come about because dumb people do dumb stuff.
They used to play this game on Y100 in the morning. You ruined it for the rest of us?
Yes, that's exactly it. So here's why it was ruined for the rest of you. Because in April, at Matters by the Public, 3 neo-Nazis came in and decided to spout all kinds of exercise their First Amendment right to say what they want, which is totally fine. I don't have to agree with what someone says. As long as they are not threatening to hurt me, my family, or anyone else, they can say how much they hate me, they despise me, whatever. I don't care. But they came in and they used the platform that was given to really residents of Palm Beach County, not these random people that came in, to take their 3 minutes and salute Heil Hitler and say all kinds of stuff, throw up a Nazi salute, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So now they had to restrict stuff because this is not there. The whole point of Matters by the Public is to give the residents of Palm Beach County an opportunity to redress their grievances to their local government about policies, about issues that they can control. It's not like, here's a microphone and like, go tell us everything you think about all the things. So we have to now we can't have nice things.
So it's just basically clear that they could say that that doesn't fall under the purview.
Mm-hmm.
That's not county business. It just kind of gives them a little bit more of a authority, so to speak, to say like, hey, that's not what we're
Go away.
That's
They
not
can
what
turn
we're
the
gonna
microphone off and have the
discuss
sheriffs
today.
withdraw.
So I
remove it.
thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is that I know we kind of talked about it briefly on the podcast months ago when it came up about trucks being parked, the ordinance up in the acreage.
Another example of why we can't have nice things.
Right. So the county is being sued in regards to that ordinance. So any further discussion may be delayed until the court rules.
Who's suing?
On that. They didn't say. I'm sure it's probably public record, so you could probably look up to see who it is. But at this point, the new ordinance was supposed to go into effect in July 1st. But as of right now, it looks like all further discussion and everything's going to be delayed until they know how this is going to play
What was the
out.
new ordinance for?
So the ordinance was they're up in the acreage. People were parking their semi-truck trailers.
Oh, that ordinance.
Yeah, that
Yes.
ordinance.
Okay.
And I think there was people on the board who were lenient towards it. Yes, this is your home. This is your livelihood. Fine. Well, then they found out that people were not just parking their own, but they were renting out the lots. So turning like the whole neighborhood into like a semi-truck parking lot and renting them out to other owner operators. So again, because some people made the decision to not make it their own personal truck, but to try to find revenue, which is fine, but it affects the roads, it affects the aesthetics of the neighborhood, it affects a lot of things.
Well, they were actually advertising to residents to park in certain areas.
Yeah. So because of that, now nobody can have it.
Yeah. You ruined it for the rest of us.
Ruined it for the rest of us. Jeez Louise.
Hey, we have a question from one of our viewers, Ruth Fieldbeck.
Hi, Ruth. Yes.
She asked, why do you think people are shy or reluctant to volunteer or to organize activities they may believe in, like sign waving?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know that people are reluctant to it. You have to remember, and this is my own opinion, most Republican people work, have kids. We're all very, very busy with lives.
And it's 100 degrees outside.
And well, that is 100 degrees outside. But it's not like on the hierarchy of things that people have time for. A lot of times it's not the thing that they have the most time for.
I think you're going to see more of an amp
Yeah,
up as
I
it
think
gets
you'll start to
closer
see more.
August and then definitely in November. I have a feeling we're going to see lots of crowds coming out between August and November.
August and November is really when it's going to kick up because quite honestly, we all live, eat, drink, breathe politics. But most people don't. Most people are looking towards summer, kids getting out of school, vacations and stuff. They're like, November is a long way away. Don't really care.
Yeah.
But we'll start to see an uptick of it, I think, for sure later on.
And like my take on it is, I mean, like sign waving, I definitely think there's a time and a place for that. Like it brings awareness to like, the people that are, going about their lives or whatever. But as far as effectiveness, like door knocking.
Door knocking is
most
definitely
effective.
more effective.
And that can be really intimidating if you've never done that before. I mean, even now, like, me going out, I've door knocked in my precinct like 4 or 5 times now. And it's still like I have to like work myself up.
You have to like get your head in the game. You're like, okay,
it's-
I can do this. I can do this. Okay, it's just a person. It's just a person.
Every time I go out, like I got to work up. I got to hype myself up for it. But every time I go out and I actually do it, it's great.
Yeah.
It's not like people are slamming the door in my face.
I think I said that on
You did
Tuesday.
say it on Tuesday.
I was like, I'm so like, oh, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to. And then that first door, I'm like, okay, I got this. Let's go.
Yep, that's exactly. For anybody that has never door knocked or canvassed before and you've got like butterflies in your stomach about it, just go out with a vet. Go out with a seasoned pro that's door knocked, in prior
Shout
campaign
out Bill
cycles.
Riley.
Yeah.
Go with Bill Riley. He will inspire you just to keep
Baba
going.
Bill.
Baba Bill.
It really is like it is the most effective method of turning out the vote.
Yeah, it is.
So like people remember when you knock on their door.
Yeah.
And so
Well, it starts that relationship too.
Yeah.
So that's so important.
Hope that answers your question, Ruth. But I think you'll see, like we said, I think we'll see an uptick of it later on in the year once it's closer to the time when people are more aware.
And I think campaigns are just now starting to ramp
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we haven't even finished qualifying yet, which we'll get to in a little while because
Yeah.
that's got its own whole world.
Yeah.
So I know you had one more thing, right? You said, or was that it?
No, that was it.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
Well, I know a sign waving. We went Sunday, and it was hot.
It's hot.
what were you guys waving
It
signs
was
for?
brutal.
Lauro Diaz, sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a couple other people.
Lantana, Dan Francis was out. His wife was out there. We had a couple Trump flags. Joe LaFauci was out there waving his Trump flag. So,
Was this on Southern Boulevard or was this somewhere else?
Lantana Library.
Well, and I know there was regularly people
Actually, it was
doing it
set
at
up
Clintmore.
by Ruth.
It was set up by Ruth.
Yep.
Ruth is going to be the champion of
Yes.
getting flag waving done. I think
Yeah.
that all it takes is one person to start inspiring
That's
people
right.
to do it.
That's
Yeah.
right. She's doing it twice a month outside of the Lantana Library. I think it's the second, fourth. She can put it in the chat.
Drop it in the chat so we can let everyone
when
know.
you're
Yes.
doing it, Ruth, and we'll let people know. But it's so great to hang out with some like-minded
It is
people.
fun.
and,
it is fun.
you know,
so
we
it's
were
just,
out there for a little over an
what
hour.
day was it on?
It was fun, but
Sunday.
it was,
Yeah.
but
It was
so
hot.
hot.
It was
Yeah.
hot. Yeah. Oh,
I
know.
remember door knocking before the primaries in 22, July and August. Oh my gosh. And we didn't get much rain that summer and it was just hot.
It was hot.
I was out there. I was probably a hot mess, knocking on people's doors.
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm all fine when I'm out there, but the minute I get in the car and like the sweat starts to dry and all of that, I'm like, just get me out of
I
my
can't.
clothes.
I
Like
can't. It's too
I'm
hot.
like, I gotta go home.
I have several pictures of my son who was 3 at the time during the 22
Aw.
cycle, and he was in in school. So he was with me and Marcy, and he was the like little campaigner. And like he would be all excited for the first like 3 or 4 doors, and he'd be like every 5 seconds, every like couple minutes, I'd hear from the stroller, "Are we done yet? Can we go home now? Can we go home now?" So by the end of it, we have several pictures of him where he's just like,
So
I'm like, "Can you smile, buddy? We're done." He's like, so done, so hot, little trooper.
He's like, I was done in a half hour.
Yeah, he was like, this is not what I wanted to do.
Not what I wanted.
So okay, you got anything before we talk about quality?
I just wanted to add that I know Broward County had their first budget workshop last week.
Okay.
Kind
What's
of
Broward's budget?
Oh gosh, I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
It's a lot. But I did hear through the grapevine that the commissioner that was trying to lobby for the originally 0.25% sales tax surcharge tax, then dropped it to 0.10, and then it was tabled. He pulled it from the budget altogether. So that is not going forward.
Oh, good.
That project, I think they're going to take what's left over from the 10 million or whatever it was that they allotted, and just kind of continue to work the pilot program for now. But they're not throwing any more money at it in the next fiscal year. So that's
I feel like
that's
that's
a
the
win.
best anecdote of government waste and overreach ever.
Oh man! But I did hear that a big reason why like that project was dismissed, basically voted down by the commission, is that each of the county commissioners has their own surcharge pet project that they want to get
Of
pushed
course,
through.
they
So
all want your money. They want your money. They want your money.
I'm like, can we cut taxes for once? You guys have more money than God. We'll see.
Death and taxes.
Death and
That's all
taxes.
that's what
Taxation
it's
is
all
theft.
about.
Okay.
Agreed.
So, all right. So today is May. What is this? May
23rd.
23rd. Qualifying. So I'm going to explain something real quick. The difference between filing and qualifying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when a candidate files for office, they submit certain levels of paperwork. They have to do like a candidate like treasurer's report, a candidate oath, which is actually a short oath, not as long as like the oath that they actually put in for qualifying. I just figured this out. And they have to open their bank account. They have to submit like some banking records or whatever, their treasurer's reports, things like that. And then to get on the ballot, they have to qualify either through petition or through paying a filing fee. It's usually the filing fee is a percentage of the salary that will be drawn by the person if they're elected. And then with that, then they have to also file some more paperwork. So like at the state level, I guess at the county level and the city level now would be the Form 6.
Yep.
It's another candidate oath that's actually a little bit longer. And then I'm trying to remember, there was one other thing that we had to look at doing. The treasurer's report if you hadn't already done it. So some people will file and qualify all in the same shot, depending on where they are in the cycle. Most people file, and then that's what puts them on the website of the candidate lists, and then it'll say qualified. And qualified is when they've submitted the rest of their paperwork, their petitions, if they do petitions, or their filing fee.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
All of the paperwork is complete as a candidate.
Check.
So they are qualified.
They are qualified
to run.
So
They will be on the ballot.
They will be on the ballot. So qualifying is a window of time that it varies from year to year. So this year there are 2 different qualifying times. There was a qualifying time in April for certain races, but
Mainly
then,
federal.
Yeah, mainly federal races and judges and things like that.
Yep.
And then now there's the qualifying time in June, which is basically everyone else. So state level down.
Mm-hmm.
So June 10th to June 14th is the qualifying window. So depending on where you're filing determines where you have to file that. So if you're filing for a state office, you have to go to Tallahassee to file it or send it to Tallahassee. If you're doing it at a county office, you do it there. So
and I just want to add that like you can be a filed candidate way before the qualifying period ever starts. Like Bill filed last summer.
Yeah.
I know some state candidates down in Broward, they filed last summer. And basically all you have to do is file that designation of campaign treasurer's report or campaign treasurer and depository account, which is the form you need to do to go open the bank account. And maybe one other for the oath.
It's like an oath. It's like an oath, but then again, you have to file a longer oath
but
later.
Then once you're a filed candidate, you can open your bank account, which you have to do before you start collecting any contributions.
Yeah, you can't collect any.
So then you can have fundraisers. You can do all this stuff, kind of exploratory stuff.
Get petitions
signed, all of that, and so that all can take place before the qualifying period. But then that qualifying period is when you go in and you file all the rest of the paperwork. and maybe it's the period of time when the SOE or the city clerk's office actually processes it
Yeah.
and says yes, you're
Yes,
qualified.
that's what they do.
They won't qualify you until then.
No, so like if
Yeah.
we took our paperwork, Bill's paperwork when we went to Tallahassee, they'd be like, "That's nice. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Like, bring it back at June 10th."
Yeah.
So, so with that being said, until qualifying happens,
Anything can happen. People can
Anybody
file,
can jump in
people
the
can
race.
withdraw.
Let's not forget, Marcy Woodward filed a week before. I think she filed during the qualifying
Yes.
week.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even.
It was like the day before the last day.
Yeah, and out of nowhere, boom! Here she comes
Yeah.
to challenge an unchallenged
And I mean,
incumbent.
I did the same thing in 22.
I did the same thing in 21 for city council. Like
Yeah.
I filed 15 minutes before it was done. Closed at 5. My paperwork says 4:45. So nothing like the last minute. But so anything's fair game, and I think we're seeing that happen. Even like let's take the District 5 school board race. I mean, if you actually go on the SOE website and you look at it, it's like filed, withdrawn, withdrawn, filed,
Actually,
filed, withdrawn.
I may have it.
The filed, withdrawn
I
one.
think I
Yeah,
printed
there
it
was
out.
So-
there was 3 that withdrew. I think 3
Yeah.
or 4.
So
and they're similar in Broward too.
so currently there's 5 people
Yeah.
running.
Right, and then 3 other ones.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's
3
gonna
other
go to
ones
runoff.
withdrew.
It's gonna go to runoff.
So this is, I don't know if you can see, but that's all the school board candidates with the ones that are active and then a bunch filed and
I
then
was gonna say,
withdrew.
show it on the camera behind you, Jess.
Yeah. Oh, is that? There you go.
We'll put a screenshot in the chat. But basically, currently, right now, in District 5, which is Boca,
It's just
Boca.
just Boca,
Yeah.
East and West Boca,
Boca from
and
the
Highland Beach. I
And
think
Highland
is
from the
included.
ocean to the Everglades.
and then up to the Boca Delray line, and then Highland Beach included.
Yep.
There's Gloria Branch, Mindy Koch, who, fun fact, used to be the DNC chair for Palm Beach County,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike Letsky, Charmin Postal, Suzanne Page.
Those are the active.
Those are
filed.
the active filed. So there are, according to this, I mean, it's a nonpartisan race, but there are 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
So anything can happen between now and then. Let's see what else is a fun one to look at.
And they have to get over 50. They have to get 51% or more of the vote in order to be elected. So it's based on this and what I'm hearing and the way that voters are talking is it's sounding like it's probably more than likely going to go to a runoff with the
Which
top
means
2
it'll go into the
candidates.
November ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
what was it? 6 and there was 2 that did that the last time, right? Or just the one?
just 6, I
Just
think.
6. That
District
was the
6.
one in Wellington.
Wellington, yeah.
In
Winter.
22 in Broward seats or districts, 9, I think 9 is the at-large that went in 22. 5 and 1 went to runoffs.
Okay,
Oh, no,
so
7 did too, but there was 2 Democrats.
yes, that's right. That's right.
Even it's nonpartisan, but the people that were running were
Right.
Democrats.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how many people are running in District 94.
Right?
Which is the open
It's
seat?
crazy.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
open seat.
It's absolutely
It's absolutely
crazy.
insane. Okay, so I have a question.
All right.
What happens? I don't know if you guys know this. I haven't had a chance to research it yet. So if you guys know in the chat, please let me know. If an NPA jumps into a partisan race, and so it's a 3-way race, do they have to get 51%, or is it just whoever gets the most votes?
I'm pretty sure
It's most votes.
Most votes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Just checking, because I was like,
I
and
think
for a
the
second.
it's
school
still
board
go
is
with
the only one that
Has
Yeah.
runoffs.
has
because it's an NPA, or because it's a nonpartisan
Yeah.
race.
Right. A partisan race, though, you'd have the primaries in August. And then
Yeah,
the
but if
regular
there's no
on-
primary, if it's basically a 3-way party race.
So that's going to be on the ballot too about
Yeah.
having nonpartisan school board go to a partisan.
Oh, it is on the ballot? It's an
Uh,
amendment?
Yeah, I believe I read that somewhere. Please
was
correct
just-
me if
I
I'm wrong,
just
but I'm
saw-
pretty sure
hold
that
on.
I saw that it was going to be on the ballot to change it
I was
to a
just
partisan.
looking at all the amendments, and I didn't look at that one too much. Let me see if I have them
Yeah,
still
so we
pulled
have
up.
abortion, marijuana.
There's like 6 amendments.
It's going to be the sales.
It's
the
going to be a
school board
huge ballot.
The school board sales tax.
I don't think I have it.
And the partisan for the school board.
partisan for the school board.
Yeah, which we did talk about.
To make the school board elections
partisan.
partisan, yeah.
Starting in 26, I guess.
Oh wait, maybe it was.
It was on. Jody had like
It
a
was
thing.
on Jody's
That's
thing.
what I was
That's
looking to
where it
see if I
was.
had it in my bag, but I brought a different
I was
bag.
looking for it too.
I brought a different
it's
bag.
in the trunk. I have it in the trunk of my car.
We could drop that in the chat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the races to pay attention to that I think are important. That you guys weigh in, but my personal opinion.
They're
that we
all
don't-
important.
They're all important. All races are important. But being the fact that we're talking about local candidates here, the most local are going to be the school board and the committee people, I think, are very important. A lot of times we don't realize that honest to goodness, in the 2020, when I voted for state committee person, committee woman, committee man, I had no idea what that meant. I was just like, I'm just going to go any, meeny, miny, moe, because I have no idea what I'm voting for.
I might have
badly.
left it blank.
So it was on there?
It was on there.
it
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been there.
Yeah, it was on there.
It's
I
always on
remember
the ballot.
voting for it. I just remember going, I don't know what this job is.
Wait,
Right.
which job?
Committee
State-
woman.
Yeah.
State
The
committee
state
man.
committee
And I would be
Yeah.
willing to bet that a majority of our Republican voters have no idea what that means, because unless you're
Yes.
involved in the party, you don't actively involved in the party, you don't know. So I'm going to give you a quick explanation. Maybe we can clip this and get it out so people can know. And I feel like I'm talking a lot, so you guys jump in anytime you want. But the state committee person is I think we've touched on this before, is the person who represents the county party to the state party.
Yes.
And so they are the ones who help drive policy when it comes to the party. It drives money when it comes to the party in the state. They vote for the person who then goes on to represent us at the federal party, who then votes for the state, the RNC chair. So, if we were ticked off about Ron McDaniel being in there for so long, that we can blame that on our state representatives who are then elected by our county representatives. If that makes sense.
Yep.
So there are a few people on the ballot for our state committee man and committee woman. There's one of each. So yeah, pay attention. Check them out. Go talk to them.
I mean, vet them just like you would any other candidate.
Mhm.
You know, I spoke about this at my region meeting on Tuesday, how important it is to vet your candidates. And one of the things that we're noticing that, and in the past, Palm Beach County was a very blue county, so what would happen is conservatives, Republicans would switch to Democrat as their party affiliation in order to get elected. Well, now is what we're noticing is there's a few people out there that have been Democrats forever, or
who were secret Republicans is what they say.
right. And now all of a sudden, since they were Democrats before, now they're going to switch their party to Republican and run in the Republican races, as a Republican in the races. So it's so important to vet your candidates, ask them the tough questions, ask them to meet you for coffee, be sure that you are Googling their information, not that that's all of the information that you get, but just kind of see.
You can look up people's voter
Mhm.
records. Everything is public record, and with what party they were registered with, and if they have voted or not voted, all of that is information you can find. So
Yep.
find out what what their records are. If they were a Democrat before or any point in the past life, ask them. Say, what made you change? And
Yep.
Go with your gut, but vet the same.
And sometimes it's a perfectly good explanation.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I wasn't really involved, and my family was Democrat.
Yeah.
So, once I started to understand what was going on, I realized I aligned more with the conservative views. That's a very good possibility, and wanted to make sure that I represented, so I'm taking a leadership role. Like there could be very good explanations, but definitely don't be afraid to have those conversations. And especially if you're willing to volunteer for a candidate, make sure that you stand by that candidate, because whatever happens to that candidate, you're kind of wrapped up in it. You kind of wear that, letter on your chest too, if something comes out bad against a candidate. So just be sure that you're vetting, asking questions, paying attention, and go to their events and events where they're speaking, and see if they're consistent. And then, if you like them, volunteer for them. They could really use their help, knocking on doors, sign waving, handing out palm cards at your local Publix, or, whatever it is. So just be sure that you stand by your candidate and you know what they represent and that they align with your views. You don't have to agree with them 100%, but, 50, 60, 75%.
No one's going to agree with you 100%. If they did, then the
Exactly.
world would just be sad.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. So the state committee, so vet your state committee woman and committee man the same way you would anyone
Yeah.
else.
And
Yeah.
like, just to reiterate, the thing about the state committee man, state committee woman position is, it goes on the countywide ballot.
Mm-hmm.
So like people that don't pay attention, they see this and it's like how do you really know? I mean, those of us that are plugged into the local party,
Right, that's
like,
what
we
I'm saying.
know.
We know. I didn't know. I had no idea,
Yeah.
and that's why I was like, we need to take a minute and reiterate
Yeah.
what this is and why it is important, because it does matter. If you're a registered Republican, you should know who's representing you to the state level and then up to the federal level.
Yeah.
So,
And that state position too really helps create those relationships between elected officials and candidates and the party. So, you want somebody that's going to be able to, that has some relationships there or
'Cause
is
money.
aware of how it works and can advocate for
Yeah.
our candidates here in Palm Beach
Palm Beach County historically has not gotten a lot of support from the federal part from the state party because we're not a competitive county. We're not a competitive race. It's not competitive seats. They're not going to put money or effort into trying to get a candidate elected in a seat that they don't think is winnable. And it's up to our state party representative to be like, no, this race is viable. This race is viable. We need your support here. We need the money here. I mean, look, Peggy did a great job in her race. She won because the RPOF was pouring money and resources into her. The mailers that were going out were coming from the RPOF. The hit ads on Andy, all of the media, everything, all supported by the RPOF because that was a seat that they wanted. And that, I think, our chairperson is someone who can, our committee person, is the person who can help advocate for, hey, here's a viable race.
Yep.
We need your support.
Yep.
More than them picking from Tallahassee. They don't even know what's going on down here in Palm Beach County. That's what our representative does, our committee person, committee woman and committee man. So it's one woman, one man.
That's what we would like them to do. That's,
That's what we're electing them to do.
right.
So we would like to see that happen, for the record, if you're watching, people who are running for that spot, which we might have some of them on at some point in our guest list. We're working on our guest list. So I don't know that we're ready to announce it just yet, but keep your eye on our socials and we'll be announcing we're going to have some great guests coming up.
Yes.
And it's going to be a lot of fun here once qualifying is over, and then it's off to the races to August.
Yes.
We have a comment
Yes.
from DB Suma. I don't know who that is.
Oh, hi.
OMG, no to Mindy Sanger
Coach.
I think is it Coke?
I have
And
no
they
idea.
linked a FloridaPolitics.com article about her. No, it's a different one. Mariana Blanco
Mariana Blanco.
launches bid for Palm Beach School Board with incumbents endorsement.
What?
What
There's
is
more?
District 2.
Oh.
Just
She
the
got
two.
Ayala's endorsement for
Because
the...
Ayala, okay, so here's fun fact. The 3 seats that are being vied for in Palm Beach County
are
all open seats now. All
Yeah.
of the people, Barbieri, we all knew was going to step down a long time ago. So school board is the only, I think, position that is not term limited,
Right.
Right.
which is crazy to
I
me.
thought they did institute term limits, but
Maybe
it's
they
only
did.
been recently.
Maybe they did super recently
state
because
did.
the state did. But up until
Right.
recently, I mean, Barbieri's been there for, I don't even know how long. What's her name was there? Robinson was there for like 20 years on the board. So, but none of these people are termed out.
Right.
So-
No, I mean, Ayala was in her
She was
first
in
term.
her first term. She
Yeah.
got elected in 2020. And then who was the other one? I'm going to look.
Seat 1.
Yeah, but I can't remember the name of the person who was holding it. I was just chatting about this with someone the other day. So hold on. Stand by for me.
Stand by.
Stand.
Hold.
Hold,
Hold.
please.
Hold.
Hold.
So it's districts 1, 2, and 5.
So 1's an open seat also?
Apparently, Ayala, Barbieri, and McQuinn. So, yeah, McQuinn, I guess, is 1. Ayala is 2. Barbieri is 5.
Oh, DB Suma is Barb, and she lives in Green Acres.
Hi, Barb from Green Acres. Thank you so much for joining us
And
tonight.
apparently, the Blanco woman candidate that is running, she is like the assistant director of the Guatemalan Mayan Center in
Oh, that's interesting.
Super interesting.
In
What's her name?
In Lake Worth Beach. Mariana Mari Blanco?
She's a Democrat.
It's a
I'm assuming so, since
it's a nonpartisan race. So
right.
I don't know.
Okay, but she's
I'd have
so
to
when
look-
did you print this?
The fifth.
this came out on the 20th.
Okay, so as of the 5th, this is already old news.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
what happens
to
during the last couple weeks of qualifying,
Because
guys.
there's also somebody running against. Who do we have in here?
Which one? Paige?
No, the guest the last time.
Oh, Caruso. Yeah.
Caruso,
Oh, yeah.
there's
So
somebody
last
running
time we
against
had, yeah,
Caruso.
shout out to Tracy Caruso, who was our guest
Yeah,
host
thanks,
last
Tracy,
time.
for filling in
Tracy.
for me.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. If you didn't
Sorry
get
I
it-
missed you.
Yeah. Well, we'll have her back sometime when you're here. So shout out to Tracy Caruso, who was our guest last episode. If you missed it, go back and watch it. We had a lot of fun chatting all things local with her. Her husband is a state representative in District
90.
2?
No.
No.
4.
89.
Oh, 89.
No.
Nope, 87.
87.
The districts
I
are
have it right
so
here.
weird.
Yeah.
I have
They're
it
so
right
weird.
Because
here.
Peggy's 90
1.
91.
and Chip's
91.
100.
And Bill's 90.
Yeah.
Bill's 90. Skidmore's 92.
But, I mean, Peggy and Chip's districts touch.
Because it has to go west
What?
to Skidmore. That like it goes 91 and then 92. But then where are all the rest of the numbers? I don't know. Okay, sorry. I feel like it's getting boring. But
94 is all the way up north.
Yeah.
94, that's Rick Roth's current seat with a whole host of people running in there. There is 1, 2, 3, 4.
So Mariana
Republicans.
Blanco is a Democrat.
Okay. All right, wait. So why did we? Oh, yeah, we brought this up because Caruso had someone file as of. Oh, so that's what right. Tracy last time said that he was
Sienna.
running
Yes.
unopposed as of last.
She
episode.
jinxed them. Darn you, Tracy.
Well, it's
No,
qualifying.
that was
It's
my fault.
qualifying. And then we also there was an NPA that has jumped into Bill's race, so now that's a 3-way race.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this literally
Like we
all
say,
happened
this-
in the last.
This
It's like the
2
wild,
weeks-
wild west.
This last 2 weeks, anything can happen.
Yep.
Like there could be
Anything
3
can
more
happen.
people jump into that.
There's
school board
definitely
race
some
today.
strategy when it comes to some of these seats. I mean,
Yeah.
there's 5 school board seats in Broward County that are up for election.
Out of 9.
Out of
so
9.
there's 9 seats. So this
Um,
could flip the board.
It could theoretically flip the board. As of right now, the Broward Republican Party has 3 candidates running for the 5 seats. 3 of the 5 seats, we have a candidate that has filed to run.
That's awesome.
So, and there's at least 1 or 2 where they're most likely going to file. They just haven't filed yet. And that could be strategy. So,
Yeah, I mean, there is a strategy to it, which is like, wait and then throw all your opponents
Yeah.
off because they think, especially because a lot of these candidates on here, a lot of them are first time runners. And so a lot of people don't realize what can happen during qualifying. They think that they've filed to run, they've announced, they're raising money, they're the person. And then someone else jumps into the race and they're like, oh, wait a minute.
yeah.
That can happen. So
Yep.
we can't get our panties in a bunch. We
Yeah.
just need to.
Or they don't qualify. Ends up something happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
so
forget
that's
a
the thing.
form or
Like,
something else.
That's
and
the thing, too. Just because
could
they
not
filed doesn't mean
qualify.
they're going to run against you.
And kind of a side story to that, and I'm not going to say the seat or any information about who this is,
Discretion.
but I did receive an email. This was back, I think, in February, from a potential candidate who had filed to run, but obviously hadn't qualified yet because qualifying period is next month. But was basically emailing me as the treasurer of the county party, requesting a contribution to his or her campaign. Because they had filed, and it's like, well, you filed, but you aren't qualified yet, and we have a policy of only contributing to filed candidate or qualified candidates.
And a lot of people don't even know the difference. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
But,
didn't until
I
a couple
mean,
years ago.
in my opinion, it took some cojones to request, especially the amount that was requested in February before qualifying.
You're like, there's a lot of things can happen between now
Well,
and then.
and that's the thing too. Like a lot of people assume, like, oh, I'm running as a Republican, the party's going to help me, and that's not really the case either.
Mm-mm.
So
I mean, there are definitely the party should and will support candidates.
Oh, of
but
course.
it's not. They're not contractually obligated to help you just because you have an R in front of your name and they're a Republican Party.
And to be honest with you, I mean, and this is all public information because you can look back through the SOE filings, but like in 22, the Broward REC, the main way that they helped the August and November candidates were through the door hangers. They were in-kind
Right,
contributions.
exactly.
They were either they gave them the option of ordering their yard signs through the party, because obviously we had like preferred pricing or
Discounted
bulk
bulk pricing, yeah.
Doing mass text, mass emails, like. So the party was doing in-kind contributions through social media, through messaging, through that kind of stuff. It wasn't like just writing a check. So I mean, and I think that's probably good policy.
I mean, I think there's I think it could go either way. It depends on the strategy.
Because you could
of what
stroke a $10,000 check for a candidate, like a state house candidate, and they could take that check and, I mean,
do anything with it.
Right.
throw a lavish fundraiser where they raise
$5.
$1,000 from 50 people or something. Who knows? I mean, I'm just hypothetical here, but
Hypothetically
I mean,
speaking,
like in a perfect world, you fork money that you worked hard as a party to raise, and you fork that money over to a candidate, and the candidate is doing the most he or she can with the funds given.
right, being wise with the money. So sometimes it makes more
And
sense.
it's hard
for
for the party support if there's 10 people in the race.
Yeah.
Well, they can't, because you
They
can't do it
can't.
until after
After
the primaries. So
Right,
another thing too,
right.
just so you know, like we've said this before, but I'll reiterate in case we have new listeners, which we do. Thank you. That the party cannot support a candidate if there are 2 Republicans running in any race. So that applies to both nonpartisan races, and that applies to primary races. So when you look at this list, like we have these fun lists here that we are
Right,
referring,
and
that we're waving around, that you
Right.
can't tell what we're looking at, but this is what we're looking at. That is, highlights all of the filed candidates in Palm Beach County. If there's 2 Republicans in the race,
But for school board, right now it's nonpartisan. So if there's 5, Republicans in each school board race,
the party can't do anything. Now,
That's
if they
hard.
go to a runoff and there's
Then
one
that's
Republican
different.
and one
Yep.
Democrat, it's different. But if they go to a runoff and there's 2 Republicans, they can't.
Yep.
So
Yep.
people a lot of times are like, why isn't the party? Well, you
Right.
know why? You're in a race with 3 other Republicans in the party.
So
Why should
many
they choose
people-
you over someone else?
So many people got upset in 22 when they're like, well, the party didn't help me. The party didn't help me. And it's like
Were
there's
these
this
REC members or not?
Yeah. So,
Did you read your candidate oath when you signed up? When you signed up to be a precinct
When
committee
you
member?
sign, you should read things when you sign them. Read them before you sign them.
and you have to fill them out right now. If you haven't already, you signed them at my meeting on Tuesday. So I hope you. I hope you.
I did. I sat there. I ignored you talking and read through everything.
So Barb, she brought up in the District 2, there is a 3rd candidate, Angel Suarez.
Yes.
Did we talk about?
No, we haven't talked about District 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean, except for what she mentioned, which is the
Suarez was on my list already.
District 2.
There's 3 active candidates in District 1. There's 3 in District 2, and there's 5 in District 5.
Okay, so the ones in District 1, there's 1 Republican,
Right, because
Who
I
is?
haven't updated
Paige
it yet.
Lewis.
Okay.
So
But there's 2 other
think-
ones, right?
Matthew Lane and Marlo Larson,
Yep.
Mhm.
which Marlo has not put any money in or
No.
spent any money.
What about Matthew Lane? Does he have any money?
Yeah, he has more than Paige,
Well, shout out to Paige. Paige is awesome.
but only
Paige
by
is
about
great.
$5,000.
Oh, okay. Paige is great. If you can drop her some money, try to drop her some money. She is super sweet and she knows her stuff. I think once she gets elected, I think she'll do really good things.
I
She's
think
very well. She's very likable, because you have to remember, if if we get our candidates elected, they're still going into a board of a majority of people who are not like-minded, and so they're going to have to be able to work with
Right.
people
Mhm.
and to get stuff done for the betterment of our students. So Paige really strikes me as a person who's going to be has her values,
Right.
but is also going to be able to work, and she's very likable and knowledgeable. So I think she's going to do really well. All right, so then
and she's got a great little Southern accent.
she does. She's so cute,
She's the cutest when she talks.
and her name is Paige, like a page in a book.
Yep.
She's like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so wait. So then there's Angel, you said, which is District 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there who else is running in District 2?
The Blanco lady that
Who's a Democrat?
is a Democrat. And then Virginia Savieto.
Okay, also Democrat.
Savieto.
That is actually Commissioner Weiss's assistant.
Oh.
Huh. So I'm assuming she's a Democrat.
I'm assuming so.
Interesting. So there's only 1 Republican in that race, which is good. And then we have District 5, which is hot mess.
Yeah. Which,
Hot mess
so
express.
in 2022, I'm trying to remember, the only Republican that we had running for school board in Broward was Brenda Pham. And
Uh-huh.
so she automatically got our endorsement. So we waited. Obviously, our meeting is at the end of the month, and so qualifying period closed earlier in June. We automatically endorsed her, and then we voted as a membership or a committee to endorse the NPA candidates for the other seats. So we endorsed Mercedes Marassi for my district 7, and we endorsed Maurice Mo Hilton for the at-large district 9.
Our REC meeting is smack in the middle
Oh,
of qualifying
Oh,
Yep.
week,
June 12th.
June 12th.
So you guys always had Wednesday night meetings, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's gone back to the normal.
It's still
It's
earlier in
it's
the
every,
month,
it's every other month.
but
and
it's still
the
earlier in the
second-
month. It used to be the third one.
Oh, we're having meetings every single month between now and November.
But you guys don't have regional meetings.
No, but I mean,
I'm just saying the strategy behind the Palm Beach County REC was to try to push people to go to the regional meeting more because more work gets done in our
well, not
regional
only
meetings.
that, but then they have less
less
distance
expense
to travel.
Oh yeah,
'Cause, like-
cut the and then we're not going to 2 meetings a month.
Right.
Which between that and all of the candidate events and all of
Mhm.
the door knocking
Mhm.
and all of the community events between like Bill's district is a very active district
Yeah.
with so many community meetings and events. Like I literally can be gone every night, and I try not.
No,
to.
that's a great strategy.
Every
I
night,
mean,
every night.
every night. I had so important. I had to repeat it twice. Coffee's kicking again.
No,
my
you
double
guys
drink- my
have done a
double
really good
espresso.
job. You guys have done a really good job, like with your structure, with your regions, and I know you've done a really great job of
She has. It was
building
a very
up the
packed
South
meeting. How
region.
many people were there?
50, I think.
There was at least 50.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I know
We
you
had
said the
to-
North region's pretty active too, right?
Yeah. North is getting there. I think they have like about 20
They're
to
building.
30 people usually in
Well,
their
and it's
meetings,
a
so it's not
more
bad.
rural area too, right? Well, maybe not on
No,
the east
on
side.
the east side it's
Yeah.
not. It's very dense. But I think that we were already really active starting in
Yeah.
like 22.
Yeah.
So we kind of just
Oh, yeah.
been able to do that.
Yeah.
They're ramping up
Yeah.
more. They didn't have to be as active because the north part of the county is already conservative.
Yeah.
We had to work really hard to flip some seats,
Yeah.
and we did
it.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that that's going to spurt on, and I do think having the model of doing it every other month encourages people to want to go to the regional meeting because
Yeah.
again, you're not going to so many.
Should be
meetings.
closer to where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's different
Schools of thought.
schools of thought, but
I'm so diplomatic, Abby.
we
tell
have
that.
we have been moving our meeting space around.
I feel like
So
that's confusing.
Isn't that interesting?
and some there's only so many meeting spaces in the county that will hold. 'Cause, I
Yeah.
mean, we have a membership that's now closing on 300.
Good for
That's
you.
amazing.
I mean, it was 385 for the December 22 election, like the board
still
elections.
really, it's still higher than we have altogether.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we could have like probably 3 times that many.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just because of the precincts and the density of Broward County. But anyways, the meetings have been moved around. They were in Plantation for a couple months in a row, and then I know that the community center that we were meeting at there, like they've got stuff scheduled on that night over the summer, and so Monday night's meeting, which I was still out of town for, was back in Pompano. And I think the next 2 meetings are also going to be in Pompano. And it's just, like it's easy for like a resident to go and book the space out for a couple months in a row. And it's,
It does make it.
obviously, selfishly, personally, it being an East Pompano works out much better for me. But I thought the Plantation meeting space was a good happy medium because Plantation kind of is the center part of the county. Well, and the part where the part of
crazy how big
Plantation
it
is the part
Palm Beach
the
is
part
the
of
same.
Plantation where that center was, it was actually right across from Sawgrass Mills, like Flamingo and Sunrise. So like it was easy to hop on the Sawgrass.
Yeah, it's
and
easy to
there
get
and
around
stuff.
there.
So
I was explaining
because there are parts of Plantation where it's like BFE, like where
Yeah.
the tax collector's office is. It's like in the middle of nowhere.
I was talking to Bill about we were talking about Elsie Hastings district and
Oh,
how
yeah.
wonky wackadoodle. I'm like it goes all the way down
Shaped
the county.
like an E.
Yeah, it goes all the way down the county and then it
It's
crosses
less
the-
of an E than it used to be
It's
after
still like that,
redistricting.
though, or did they
I
change
don't
it?
know.
They
I just
changed it. The part that used to be down in Miramar in southwest Broward County, they took part of that away.
Right.
So
when they
still have
redistricted.
up in
Loxahatchee
Riviera
and
Beach.
Riviera and stuff. Yeah.
because I remember that year that they had the
Special
special election. I remember going up to we went to Peanut Island and I was like seeing all these like District 20 signs, and I was like, "This is District 20. This is so far east. Isn't it Pahokee?"
I went out to
I was
Belglade.
like, I'm so confused.
I went out to Belglade
District seems
in January
whack.
of 22
Yeah.
and like saw what's her name, Sheila's signs
Yeah.
everywhere,
and I saw
it was
in
after the
Riviera
election.
Beach, which is
Yeah.
by the.
Yeah.
Listen, there's still a Jared Moskowitz sign in Boca, on the ground. It's survived all the summer storms, all the things since November of 22. It's still there.
But is there
Should call code enforcement.
Are there still any Christine Scott signs around? Because I did see a couple
She
of those
wasn't in my
after the
district.
election.
She did.
Oh, she was CD23.
Was it 23?
Yeah, she
Yes.
ran against Joe
Oh.
Bud.
Isn't she? Oh,
She was an MPA.
she
I don't
didn't-
think she.
That's
She did
right.
not run this go round.
She's not
Yes,
running
she-
in this
Her
go
name
round.
was in there. She had filed.
She
Hold on,
filed,
she-
but
she
she
didn't
didn't qualify.
Qualify. See, qualifying. It'll get you.
Yeah,
The
she did
qualifying.
qualify.
her name's not on there.
That
Yeah.
check that you have to write
it was
if you
on
can't
there
get
up
the
until,
petitions,
like,
because Congress is a
last
lot of
time.
petitions. It's like 6,000 petitions,
It
isn't
may
it?
have been on the federal
It's a
site.
lot.
The federal, the Congress.
petitions. I want to say it's like 6,000.
Yeah, I think it is.
So I find it interesting that the county commission is not that high.
Yeah,
1,700 is not high. We have 12 for bills for a state congressional seat, essentially a state district, state house seat, 1,200, and the discrepancy between the filing fees is crazy because of the salary.
Right.
So I feel like the petition amount should also be on a scale with the salary. It's just my opinion. If you
Well,
have to
in Lighthouse Point, you just need 2.
to what?
six
was
petitions,
10.
Oh,
Come on.
2, 10.
because like the
tiny
qualifying
little
fee for bill is like 1,700, but the
it's
qualifying
it's
fee
like 10 grand or something. isn't
for
it? Congress. Yeah.
No, not for Congress is like 10 grand, but for but so
Oh, for county.
right.
Yeah.
So if the filing fee for Congress is like 10 grand and the petition amount is like 6 grand, that seems more comparable. But when you're talking about a filing fee of like
6,000.
6,000 and a petition of 1,800
Yeah.
is a much wider discrepancy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a fully developed
And,
thought, but
and it's fairly like similar as far as like number of residents too.
For what?
because, Like
Between the county district and
between
the
a county
congressional
district
district.
and a state house seat.
State house
State
seat.
House.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It
so
is.
it's very similar.
It is.
So
but
that's
the pay,
interesting.
it's because it has to do
It's
with
the pay,
But
salary.
right. So that I understand. But the petition amount, I'm very floored by the amount of petitions needed. Like it's almost, 500 petitions is not a big difference
Right.
between the state house and the county commission.
Yeah.
But the amount of residents, like you said, a very similar amount.
Yeah.
I just
Interesting.
wonder.
It's just very interesting.
I just
that's all.
wonder if maybe like the congressional petition amount is high because I don't know, because they are trying. I mean, it didn't work.
Congress, Congress
Yeah.
is Congress. I'm just saying the
They get
county
paid
versus
extra
the state.
Anyway, so.
The state wants their money.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, dollar bills, $50
bills,
y'all. Thank you for the information about who's running for school board. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
feel like,
like, this is
between now
already
and our next
outdated, yeah.
episode, it's already going to be this is gonna be so
We've got a
obsolete.
question from Sean Mala.
All right. Hi, Sean.
What do you gals think about the candidates in CD23?
Oh, gosh.
We
No
don't like any
comments.
of
No
them.
comment.
You're baiting, Sean. You're baiting.
We, at this podcast, there is a key word in our podcast, which is locals. And so, as of right now, we are not taking any stances on any congressional things anything higher than state level.
And I like to say, I give anyone that throws their hat in the ring to run for any seat
Yes.
all the credit in
Yeah.
the world, because it takes a lot to put yourself out there like that
Yep.
under public scrutiny. And I give everybody all the credit in the world for doing that, because it's not easy. But at the same time, these people that shoot for congressional seats and have never,
Never filed, never run,
Never
or they're
run
running
for-
multiple times. But here's the thing. I will say this. It is disappointing to see 3 or 5 people running in one seat, because
6.
6?
Yeah.
6 people running for one seat when
CD20 had no.
CD20 had nobody.
Yeah.
It's still, she's
She won. She automatically won
Yeah,
re-election.
Yep,
She was-
she's
she
already
was unopposed.
automatically won re-election. And not only that, but then it just makes us look so divided. And so, because I don't know, it's hard to get that many people to then come together. And unless they sign like swear like oaths of support for the whoever wins. That's the only way I'm happy to see lots of people running is if they were to sign as a party, come together and say, listen, we all want to run. We're Republicans. We're all about meritocracy. I can do it better than anyone else. Fine. I get that. But there needs to be some type of structure, I think, with us to work smarter, not harder. And we just do this all the time. And we divide our resources. The amount, 6 people running for this seat are going to spend combined, $5 million on the primary?
You're probably looking at $1 million per person.
For the primary.
And then they head into the general against an incumbent Democrat who ran unopposed, and they have no money.
And they have no money. And instead of saying, you know what, let's come together, let's pick the best candidate, let's all support the one candidate and throw all of that money behind it and make it easier for the voters. And I'm not saying we shouldn't give voters choice. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I feel like that at this stage of the world that we're living in right now, we need to be working smarter, not harder. And when I see a list like this, it's the same as when I look at the school board race. Smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Well, it's really frustrating for voters.
It is
so
because they don't
frustrating
know.
for
It's
voters.
so overwhelming.
And the thing of it is with CD23, there are a couple really good candidates for that race.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But how do they vet? How do voters who don't know? Sorry, I totally interrupted.
No,
you.
you're
I'm
good.
on like a soapbox
No,
rant
you're
tonight.
good.
I'm sorry, guys. But like, how do they know if they don't eat, drink, live, breathe, speak politics like the rest of us?
that's why they want us to tell them.
But we can't. We're not going to tell you.
And just to
not gonna
chime
tell you.
in, like with a little CD25, there are now 3 Republican candidates that qualified after Chris Eddy went out and qualified by petition.
6,000 petitions.
He and his team started working last summer.
Sorry.
Collected
That's impressive.
He collected more because they threw some out.
Yeah, they always
because
throw
they
some out.
always do signature matching for the qualification.
But not for the ballot.
Heaven forbid they do that on the ballots in the general. But so he went in and
We
qualified.
know they can. We know the capabilities are there.
He went in and qualified by petition. And then last minute, the last week, the qualifying week in April, another candidate came in and qualified by paying the fee. Has never lived in Broward before. Ran in Pennsylvania in 2018 and lost.
So
ran as a Democrat in 2015.
By definition,
in
a
a different
carpetbagger?
state. By definition, a carpetbagger. And is getting a lot of support in the county from certain people because
Knows how to wine them and dine them.
he hasn't gotten the endorsement yet, but he's hinting that like he's supported by Trump.
It's really disappointing when you see people that you respect support someone who you don't.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that I'm not going to name any names because we're not naming names in our congressional district seats, but there is someone that I respected very much supporting someone in the congressional race that I don't support. And it's very disappointing to see that happen. It makes you question whether or not they're a genuine person because why would they endorse someone who is, anyway. So hopefully that is a non-answer to your question. That CD23, I would like to see, I don't know. I would just like to see us work smarter, not harder.
Yeah,
in
I mean, at
general.
this point, they're all qualified.
They're all
You have to
qualified. Let's go.
Let them go out and work the district, and they'll let the chips
Right.
fall where they may.
And
I
it's
think
just-
the less mudslinging, the better.
Yeah.
Yes, the less mudslinging, the better.
Yeah, you can't. I'm telling you right now, and then we'll get off the Congress subject because we have the same issue in CD22. So this is the thing, is that if you are going to do this and with multiple Republicans, do not go negative against your Republican opponents. Say what makes you the better candidate and why you are the better choice, because only then are we going to be able to rally as a party. Because is what happens is everybody slings the mud, they go back and forth with everybody, and then the Democrat comes out smelling like roses because all they do is replay those sound bites and snapshots over and over and over again.
They are.
of the
I guarantee
Republicans.
you that the Democrat who's running in both CD23 and CD22 has their opposition team collecting every single negative thing that is being said about the Republican, just in case that is the Republican nominee.
Yeah.
And then they will use that. Exactly. They will use that. They will slam it. And especially if after the primary, the rest of the Republicans don't come out and make serious public statements supporting the nominee, and there's lawsuits, and there's drama, and there's negative, oh, he stole this from me, and she stole that from me, and the party didn't do this, and all the shit show, excuse my French, that happens, and then thanks, Stu. Like Jessica said, a little late. I'll give you a little signal next time I'm about to do it. No, I'm just kidding. They come up smelling like roses and they coast into that seat. And this is why I'm saying, as much as I like to see people have the initiative to run, and like Abby said, being so brave to run, putting your name out there, opening yourself up to the criticism, to the media, to all of the mudslinging, your family, your children.
Yeah.
It's stressful. I've been candidates. We've run races. We know how it can be. But then to do all of that, in the end, the Democrat wins because we can't get along.
Yeah.
We all take our toys and go home. Well, I'm not going to support you because I didn't get enough votes. So you didn't do this for me. And I'm not going to send my volunteers over to support the nominee. So
yeah,
I would like to see the different. I would like, that's my really, I'm going to stop talking. I feel like I'm about to repeat myself over and over again.
Like, you're totally right. And it totally, and this is why we the locals, is because of the fact that this happens over and over and over again. And so it's hard to be able to discuss those type of races and take them seriously just because of this.
The drama and the amount of money that is being spent. It so blows my mind that we're going to just do this because I'm the best candidate and I should win.
And then our municipal candidates can't get $5.
And they can't get $5.
And not only that, I mean, half the time we can't get candidates to run for all those seats.
Right.
Yeah.
There's seats that run unopposed. Democrats win automatically, or whatever.
Does anybody? I want to know if of the 6 people running for U.S. Representative, if any of them could have run for tax collector.
Yeah.
In Palm Beach County. Ann Gannon is a horrible person. Yeah. I'm going to come out and say it. She fired people from her office for not getting vaccinated, and then she gave a separate health plan to the people who she deemed worthy of staying in the office. She is someone who's not fit to be guarding over our taxes. She should be, and she's running unopposed right now.
Yep. All of our constitutional officers are, except for
Sheriff,
Sheriff and Joe Abruzio just got an opponent this week.
So our constitutional officers are the clerk and controller. They are the property appraiser. They are the sheriff and the tax collector. So currently the sheriff is nice and crowded. Lots of fun there. And then, so someone's running against Abruzzo, okay. And then, so no one's running against the property appraiser, and no one's running against the tax collector.
Nope.
So why do we need to run for Congress?
And nobody's running for this supervisor of elections.
Yep.
either.
Nobody's running against Wendy Ling.
Has that qualifying ended for
No.
those?
That's
still in June.
So June. So somebody still could
So,
throw their hat in.
In Broward, clerk of the court, 3 Dems running. Sheriff, 4 Dems and an independent. Property appraiser, current Democrat property appraiser running unopposed. Tax collector, 3 Dems. That's a new position for us this year. Supervisor elections, 2 Dems.
Okay.
0 Republicans running for these seats in
There are 6
Broward.
Republicans running for Congress in Broward and Palm Beach County for 1 seat.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have to say. That's my opinion on CD23.
And these are good paying jobs.
Yeah.
You get
These are 6-figure salaries
Oh, yeah.
that you get to live in the area that you work in. You get to actually make a difference in our day-to-day lives, whereas Congress, you're going to go up there and get probably roped into some backdoor corruption deal because that's what happens to everyone in Congress.
Yeah. Except Thomas Massey.
I have issues with Thomas Massey.
I know.
I don't want to talk about Thomas
We all
Massey.
have our warts.
Some are bigger than others.
Yeah.
And for what?
Yeah.
And now we have our counties are still being run day-to-day lives by Democrats who hate us.
Yeah.
So that's
because Congress would be more fun.
because Congress is more glamorous.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the tax collector or the property appraiser.
And in Broward, the county commission, of the 5 seats that are up for election in November, only 2 of the 5 have a Republican filed to run yet.
Wow.
3
6
are
people.
2 are running unopposed right now, and then the 5th has a Democrat challenger, but no Republican challenger. So
that's why we
and
started
again,
this
these
podcast.
are 6-figure salaries. It is a full-time job. They meet during the day, but
You don't
these
think
are
Congress has a full-time job?
eh,
It's not supposed to be.
it's not supposed to
But
be.
it is because they
one.
made it into one, and if they're not up there doing something, then they're fundraising. So
Yes.
maybe you could run for something that you could actually make a difference in people's lives.
Yes.
That's my.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Are you sure? There's not something else we can mention?
I just keep saying it over and over again.
It's our podcast.
And
It's our podcast. I can say whatever we want.
And that doesn't even touch on all the municipalities
Oh my
that have
gosh.
elections in November.
Yeah.
How many of these seats are running? Are
Unopposed.
we running?
Yep.
And these are the people that decide how much money you pay on a regular basis. fun fact, the congressional seat does not have any really. It does have control over taxes, but the majority of your taxes that you pay are going to your local government.
Yep, your
You know,
county.
your county, your state, and your city.
And
Yep.
school board.
And school board.
Most of it's going to the school board.
Most of it's going to the school board. Okay. See, now I'm all hot again. Hot and sweaty. All right. I hope that answers your question.
Oh my gosh. Barb said she can't stand Gannon. She named her cat Biden.
She did. Yes.
Yep.
She
Oh,
did.
yeah. She's crazy.
She's got one named Biden and one named something else,
Yes.
and it's a liberal name
Oh.
too. Hunter?
No.
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 No, I'm telling you, it's something like that.
No,
One of them is
shut the
Biden
front
and the
door.
other
There's
is
another B.
Shut the front door. You might have to get that beat button right.
I have my finger on the button now, just for Josie.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's
I
like
usually
that
control my
reminds me
mouth.
of reminds me of when I was in Trader Joe's in Boca in I think it was the fall of 2020, maybe spring of 21. And it was definitely when they were limiting the number of people that went into
that
the
was
store.
always so fun.
And I'm checking out, and the woman that was like across at the next checkout line for me, she had on a tank top that said Cuomo sexual.
Oh.
And I was like, are you for real? Who would wear a tank top that says Cuomo sexual?
Oh my
Ugh.
gosh. Do we have any other questions, comments, or concerns?
I think we've answered.
Did I scare you?
You might have scared some people away.
I know. I'm sorry.
Barb says these are
kidding,
great
I'm kidding.
conversations.
Oh, thank you, Barb.
Sean said he's
Barb's
enjoying our show.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Sean.
I'm assuming Sean's a guy. It could be
Yeah.
a female name, but
No, I'm
Sorry.
pretty sure I know who that is.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean.
Me too.
I think I owe you a phone call, Sean. I'm sorry.
So,
It's been
yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, I think those are all the comments and everything we have tonight. We never did get YouTube up and running, but I will upload the full episode
All right.
hopefully tomorrow.
To
Silly
YouTube.
white.
Yeah, so stay
Well,
tuned.
you know what I did? It's my fault. I will claim responsibility. I didn't set it to multi-streaming before I did everything else.
Ah.
So 1 week out of the pocket,
I
and you
know,
are just
I know.
lost all your mojo.
I
Well,
know.
last time it was my fault, so it's all
This
good.
is why I don't do any of the tech stuff and I don't push any of the buttons.
I'm like, I should pay attention more.
I just get in trouble for running my mouth. Not messing up with the
But
buttons.
you bring a great presence and interviewing to our guests.
That's
Thank you.
right.
I love it. I
So
love
that's
asking
right.
questions.
Yeah,
I
you're
had
good
I
at
was
it.
talking to somebody the other night about potentially coming on, and they were like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about for an hour
Oh,
and a half. I'm like,
trust
oh,
me,
don't
we'll
you worry
find
about
stuff.
it. I will ask lots of questions.
Yeah, we always find plenty
I have
to talk about. We
questions.
didn't even have much of a
Agenda
outline
tonight. No, we really just want to talk about qualifying.
Yeah.
And I think we've pretty much hashed out the topic.
The horse is dead.
There is
beat
one
it.
more show before the qualifying period ends,
Is
right?
there really?
Yeah, their
June
next show is
6th.
June 6th.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
so it could get even more
So
exciting.
watch out.
So
June 6th.
we'll have an update then.
What's that going to be? Fiery and not peaceful? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Summer of Love.
It's the kickoff
of
to
Love
summer.
episode.
It'll be our first episode of summer. So
Hopefully
it'll
we'll
be
have
like,
hopefully we'll have a guest where you can't just go off.
No,
Stu.
hopefully you do, because then it would be a great show.
my
yeah.
favorites when I get.
Barb said, "Thank you all for starting this. Really enjoy it." Barb, spread the love.
Yeah, we
you know,
appreciate it.
Share
Barb.
the
We appreciate
episode.
the episode.
You know, if you want to support our work, there's multiple ways to do it. You can head over to our website and find the ways to support our work. You know, we're all about grassroots, and this is
And local candidates.
we're all about you know, doing this, you know, by pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps and just kind of moving at the speed of cash. And we really appreciate everybody that has supported the show.
Yes.
We are
yes.
closing in on the 1 year mark.
Yes.
That's right.
Next
July.
month will be
Holy
next
crow.
month will be the
Next
for
month.
1 year since we released our origin stories initial
Oh
episode.
yeah, that's right. Because
And if you haven't, for all of those new viewers that haven't seen our origin stories episodes 1 and 2, definitely go back into the archives and watch those.
Please.
Just kind of how we all got into this crazy world of politics.
And we've had some awesome episodes over
we've
the
had
last
some great
year.
guests. Shout out to all of our guests
Yes.
who have been
Yes,
on. Like
yes.
we've had every time that and I feel like it's kind of been weird. And we had Tracy on, but we haven't really had any other guests in a while. And I was like, okay, we gotta get some. I miss
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
guests. Like it's so
Yeah.
much fun to talk to people and get to know people.
Yeah.
From how they got to where they are. It's so much fun. So we're going to, so stay tuned. Speaking of that, please stay tuned because we are going to be releasing our guest lineup here pretty soon. So keep an eye on our socials, follow us on all of the things and spread the word. So and if you have a guest request, we will take that. It is, we do
Up to our
up to our discretion. And state candidates on down.
Yeah.
So if you do have a request of a candidate or elected official that you would like to see on the podcast, let us know. We'll take it under advisement for sure. And we'll always want to hear from you.
And yes, Barb, local is so important, and that's how everything starts. It
Yep.
all starts local. So
Yep,
that's why
that's
we
right.
focus on it.
Yep, for sure.
All right. That's all I got.
That's all
My
you
rant
got.
over.
We still got a few minutes.
Do we?
Yeah.
All right.
So
Anybody else got anything?
you got
What else is
anything,
new?
Abby?
What are you guys doing? So where are you traveling this summer?
Me and my sisters are doing our first ever sister trip, and we are going to Glacier National Park in July.
Ooh, nice.
So,
where is that?
Remind me
Montana.
where it is.
Montana. Okay, that's what I
yes.
thought.
Yeah. So
Is that by Yellowstone, right?
it's north. It's
North.
almost to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
A.
Eh?
What about you guys? Are you guys traveling?
No, I took on a candidate this time, so I'm going to be working hard and getting out there, and hopefully you'll see my face around. I'm pushing the podcast everywhere. I think we've gained a lot of Facebook and X followers and
Awesome.
and new viewers. So
Shout out
hopefully-
to all of our new viewers.
Yes,
Thank you. For joining us.
Thank you for watching. Please share. So other than that, I'm good. Anything else?
No, we're going to Orlando this summer, but we're going to be around. So I've been doing Camp Mom. So if anybody has any great ideas on what to do, free things to do with the kids over the summer, let me know.
I feel like one of my coaching friends has some sort of freebie list of
Oh, please send
Free
it over.
ideas, yeah.
I'm going to be, we're doing a family bucket list this summer. And so
there's so many great places within the state.
there are.
And I feel like part of the Florida Freedom Summer, there's a lot of stuff that's free, or the sales tax is
camping
lifted in the month of
equipment,
July.
outdoor equipment. Yes, that's
Um,
right. I forgot
yeah,
about
if-
that. We should highlight that.
Yeah, we
That-
should. So the month of July is a whole bunch of recreational and outdoor
and
activities
hurricane
and equipment.
supplies. By the way, all you newbies to
Yeah.
Florida, hurricane season starts in
June
a couple
1st.
days.
June 1st. I think the sales tax holiday may start this
I
weekend.
think
I
it does
think
for
so. I
the
think
for
it's
hurricane
like
supplies.
any hurricane supplies.
Does
Yeah.
start this weekend.
Yeah, hurricane supplies only. It starts this weekend, but in July,
Yeah.
there's no sales tax on stuff like kayaks and paddle boards and other outdoor and
Outdoor
recreational
sporting equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I think some of the state park fees are lifted during certain times.
Yep.
So I think it's really awesome that our state legislators are doing what they can to give back to the
And
residents.
alleviate some of the burdens and stuff. Yeah, and if you do have young children, there are also some tax non-tax items coming out. I think later
The
on
back
in
to
the year.
school in August.
Well, there's back to school, but they've expanded it to things like diapers.
oh yeah,
and
there's that's permanent.
that's a permanent one.
The
That-
diapers, yeah,
oh,
and pet
see?
food. I think.
Diapers, pet food
For all of us dog
formula,
moms out there.
certain,
Nice. I like
certain
that.
things I really shout out to our state representatives that they're really trying hard to make sure that they can alleviate where we can. I mean, it'd be nice if insurance, but
I thought I saw something the other day
Yeah,
about rates coming down.
8 companies came back.
Competition is coming back to the Florida insurance
Okay.
marketplace,
And-
so we're starting to see movement in the right direction.
8 companies came back, and they presented reduced rates.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna look into that.
yeah, so now's probably
Start
a good
shopping.
time to shop around.
Well, my premium renews, my policy renews at the end of August, so I'll get my
us
renewal
posted.
letter probably either late June or early July. They have to send it out, I think, 45 days in advance, I want to say.
Ours probably
sounds right.
it's usually the
So I
anniversary
guess
of
it'll
your
be mid-July.
purchase, right?
Well, yeah, that's my policy is when I close on my house.
So that means ours is going to be coming up soon too, because we closed on our house and we might have already got ours. I'll have to look.
Your bank pays yours, probably.
Probably. I don't know. I'll have to ask Nick.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't do the numbers or the buttons.
You probably have do you have an escrow payment as part of your mortgage payment?
Yeah.
Then your bank pays it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we can still shop it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Pay attention to budgets.
As a
Now's the
financial
time.
coach, I always say shop your insurance policies, auto. And
We just actually
homeowners.
just shopped our auto, and we dropped our auto by $60.
Wow, good job.
A month.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's
huge.
great.
Especially in Bidenomics or
Oh yeah.
groceries. Or,
Right? Right.
And I have 3 growing children who eat more every day. One
Oh,
of
and
mine
it's
start-
summertime.
Right. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I've decided. I'm going to give you guys, this is my plan. I'm going to get these little baskets from the dollar store, and I'm going to put every morning, I'm going to put their snack allotment in the basket and say, this is your snack allotment for the day, and fruit in the fridge. And that's it. Like, if you eat your snacks first thing in the morning, you get no more snacks. You have your meals, and that's it. Because otherwise, I literally am going to, I guarantee, they'll just eat all the snacks. And I buy like really healthy, expensive snacks to try to feed them
My
healthy
kids used to
food.
do that too. I used to go to the grocery store like on a
gone.
Friday. By Monday or
Gone.
Tuesday, gone.
So I'm like, all right, so we're gonna ration the snacks this
Part
summer.
of that was Stu and I, but
See, there's only one of their snacks that I like. Other rest, I try not. They're not my favorite snacks. I eat way more junky food than they do, and I put it on the top shelf.
We eat the snacks and then blame it on them.
that's terrible.
Yes. Wait, and then I was gonna say one more thing about the budget. Shoot, I don't remember.
Bang.
I was gonna say my daughter started swim team. And so she's doing swim team now,
cool.
which is awesome. But homegirl eats. Now she comes home and she's like, I'm starving. And then her teacher's texting me the next day at school. She's like, you didn't send enough food. And I'm like, I'm sending her food. She's like, it's not enough. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like
She's going through a
It's
growth
secret,
spurt.
well, it's the secret tax. You pay the fees to do the sport, and then you don't take into account that they're burning so many calories that you have to pay more to feed them.
Yep.
Anyway.
I remember when I was in high school.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
It was like I played soccer and like we'd after a game or after a practice or whatever, go to McDonald's and I'd have 2 like Big Macs and fries and all that, and then I'd still be hungry after I ate all that. It's like it's crazy.
It's crazy. No, I remember I was a swimmer in
couldn't
high
do
school,
that,
and I was
but-
always hungry. I'm hungry. I swam today, and I'm starving.
I will say I was not active at all on my cruise, but I sure did eat a lot.
As you should, Abby. As you should. That's the whole point.
Free
I think
food
we were
is fun.
I think we were like on our way home, like from the airport in Fort Lauderdale, and my sister was like, "I'm hungry for the first time in over a week." What is that feeling? Oh, it's hunger. I've forgotten what it feels like.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All right.
us
Well, we're
home.
going to go ahead and we'll finish up here. So be sure to follow us on X at We The Locals FL. You can follow us on Facebook at We The Locals. Check us out on our website at
And
WeTheLocalsPodcast.com.
Instagram. Don't forget Instagram.
And Instagram. I always forget about Instagram.
Instagram.
And if you want to email us with any of your questions, comments, concerns, guest choices, anything of that, you can email us at WeTheLocalsFL@gmail.com. I do want to give a quick shout out to Peggy Gossett-Seidman. Next Thursday, she is doing her kickoff. You can check her out on her website at peggyforflorida.com. And be sure to like, comment, share everything in this episode. We had a lot of good information for you. So have a great night, everybody, and be sure to stay local.
Bye.
Bye.